Alright guys, welcome to the video today. So in this video I wanted to talk about the Lord High Fixer and some perks that you might want to consider when you're choosing between rolls you have. Let's just say you have 3 to 4 of them and you're not quite sure which one you want to use and you want to try all of them out. This is kind of like a guide for that. I did one of these for the IS Luna if you want to check that out, and it seemed to be pretty popular, so I decided, hey, why not do the same thing, but this time for the Lord High Fixer. Starting off with the first row of perks, we have Partial Refund, Underdog, Rescue Mag, Danger Close, Surrounded, Exhumed, Relentless Tracker, Outlaw, Spray and Play, Rangefinder, Triple Tap, Hot Swap, and last, but actually in this certain scenario least, we have Last Resort. Last Resort is something that's going to help you out a ton if you have it on a sniper or a shotgun, if you play trials a ton. If you get in a 1v3 situation, this perk is going to help you out a ton. But unfortunately, this is a primary weapon and it's not really going to help you out too much. So some people I've seen in comment sections are talking about it, how Last Resort is their favorite perk just across the board. Personally, it's not really a favorite, especially on a hand cannon, but like I said, this whole entire video and this whole entire perk choice set kind of comes down to preference. But as far as from my expertise of me playing the game and having a lot of experience with it, I would have to choose Outlaw for the simple fact that you're going to notice that Lord High Fixer has a really sluggish reload speed when you're reloading, and to kind of counteract that, I like having Outlaw pretty much on all my hand cannons. If you get in a situation where you can kill one person with a headshot and then quickly reload, you can engage the other person almost immediately. It's not like a partial increase in reload speed, it's extremely dramatic and you reload extremely fast. Some people prefer Rangefinder. Lord High Fixer already has really good range by itself, and you're going to see later in the video how I like rolling the middle row, or how I'd prefer the middle row. You're not really going to need that extra range, so Rangefinder might feel better to some people. Maybe you have 2 Lord High Fixers, one with Outlaw, one with Rangefinder. Rangefinder might feel better to you, but as far as like personal choice, I would definitely have to go with Outlaw. Before I move on to the next section of perks, I wanted to kind of quickly cover sights because I covered it in my last video, and even though it might not be that important to a lot of people, it's something that I figured would be at least spending a few minutes talking about. So it seems like the hands down best sight selection for most people is Sure Shot because it has the most aim assist. And it just seems like aim assist is king right now. Whenever you get a roll for any weapon, everyone's always quick to ask how much aim assist can you get on it, and it seems like that's what's most important to people. But in this case, you'll find that Lord High Fixer feels really slow to aim in. You know, like I said earlier in the video, it has really good range, but it does kind of lack in a few categories: reload speed, ADS speed. It just kind of feels sluggish. So in order to kind of compensate for that, my personal favorite sight to run on it is Quickdraw. If you are lucky enough to roll one with Sure Shot and Quickdraw, then I highly recommend, maybe you've been trying the one out with Sure Shot for the past month and it doesn't feel all that great to you, I would highly recommend you try Quickdraw. It just feels really nice. Personally, that's just like the feeling I like going for. I played Blade Dancer a ton in year 1, and the sensation and the feeling of being able to do stuff as fast as possible is always a good feeling to have. So maybe you have both, and if you haven't tried it out, I would highly recommend you try out Quickdraw. Moving on to the most important section is the middle perk row. There are 3 different rows of perks that will drop, and you can have one of them equipped at a single time. Of course, there are 3 different pools for which these pools will drop, so you can have 3 different selections of perks. The first one is Extended Mag, Hand Loaded, Hammer Forge, Snapshot, and Lightweight. The second one is Brace Frame, Small Bore, Explosive Rounds, Casket Mag, and Reinforced Barrel. And then the third one is Injection Mold, High Caliber Rounds, Feather Mag, Rifled Barrel, and Oiled Frame. Personally, Hammer Forged, it just doesn't have the same feel that it did have in the past. It's still a favorite and it's still gonna help out a little bit, but if you want to go for like the extreme boost in range, then I would go for Rifled Barrel. Like I mentioned earlier, Lord High Fixer already has really good range. I have a Lord High Fixer with Rifled Barrel on it and it feels really nice. Obviously there's a ton of aim assist on it because of how much range it has. I feel like now so more than ever with the latest update, because there's cutoff damage on hand cannons, Rifled Barrel on a Lord High Fixer might be the best choice if that's what feels comfortable for you, but the stability on Lord High Fixer in general just doesn't really seem all that great. And it's something that, you know, if you get used to the recoil, you can kind of play around. But if you're trying to just get used to the weapon really quickly and you don't like messing around and you just want to have a more reliable weapon that doesn't have a lot of recoil, I would try to get Smallbore. Smallbore is my personal favorite. It increases range and stability, and slowers the reload and reduces the magazine size. That's what I have on my current Lord High Fixer. I had one previously with rifled barrel, and then one right now with small bore. I can tell you that the small bore one, it just seems easier to hit headshots with because it's a lot easier to manage the recoil. So I would choose small bore, or not, because obviously you can't choose, but my personal preference would be to have small bore, rifled barrel, and then either hammer forged or snapshot. Like I said, I like how the feeling is of being able to do stuff quickly. So snapshot is something that, like, you can't really get away with it as much now because of the range drop off, but in the past it just feels really nice to do stuff really snappy. So definitely, obviously you can't try to roll for these perks, but if you go back in your vault and you see your Lord High Fixer and maybe you didn't really notice the perks before and you didn't really know they were that good, then go ahead and give them a try. This is just from my experience. I played with a lot of different hand cannons, and this just kind of comes down to what I thought felt the best. So that's overall what you're going to want to try to get in your middle perk row. So in the last row of perks, we have Mulligan, Life Support, Third Eye, Grenadier, Reactive Reload, Icarus, Army of One, Hidden Hand, Grenadier, and Luck in the Chamber. Luck in the Chamber is something where it's really good in certain situations, obviously, if you can get a lucky bullet to proc. But in general, when I make these videos, it's supposed to be about like the most well-rounded and consistent setup, something that's not going to fail you and be kind of random at times, like Luck in the Chamber. So it's just going to be more of the consistent, I guess, perks. So Hidden Hand, obviously, aim assist increase is nice. It's not a personal favorite. I really don't feel like that much, like there's really that much of a change when I have Hidden Hand on a hand cannon. That's just me. Icarus could be a good perk. I haven't really had it on many hand cannons, but for something like Lord High Fixer, I feel like it doesn't really have that great of mid-air accuracy. So if you're in the air a lot, let's just say maybe you play like a Bones of Eao Hunter and you're always in the air jumping around, then this could be a good perk for you and you might want to try it out. But in general, it's not really that conclusive as to like which perk would be the best. They're kind of just, I guess, preference at this point. Life Support would be really good in a previous time, but now it seems like Thorn really isn't burning you out that often, and Life Support isn't something that'll save you. In the past, it was something where if you're about to get burned out and you got a kill, it would regen your health at times and it could save you, but now it just really doesn't seem like it has that value anymore. Third Eye is a personal favorite just because I fell in love with Knucklehead Radar in year 1 PvP, and I feel like the most consistent perk and the most valuable to me would be Third Eye. Icarus, like I said, if you're up in the air all the time, that could also be a really good choice. But if I could have any perk roll imaginable, I would have it with Third Eye. But that's just kind of me. I've had multiple experiences with different roles on Lord High Fixer, and this is kind of what I've concluded from those different roles I have played with. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and yeah, I hope you stick around, and I see you guys in my next video. Peace.